You see, I'm gonna tell you something. They always want you to, you know what these rappers, all these singers, all these big rappers y'all look up to? They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits. They dealing with killing themselves. They dealing with, man, come on, man.
Something wasn't right in Jamaica. That's what fans started thinking when YK Osiris, who had just gone broke, was suddenly living it up in a luxury villa. Just weeks before, the young artist admitted online that he sold his Lamborghini, his Rolls-Royce, and even his Cadillac. He told fans, "I had to humble myself," but then, out of nowhere, he popped up overseas, surrounded by palm trees, sunshine, and high-end living.
Man, I sold my Lamborghini, I sold my Rolls-Royce, I sold my Cadillacs. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Try that thing. Hey, I'm about to beat that charge. Man, what the heck? I ain't gonna lie. This thing humble yourself. I ain't gonna cap to you. I got a floss for you, nigga. God, I ain't got a floss for you, nigga, man.
People were confused. How does someone drowning in debt end up on a tropical getaway? Then came the photos. One showed Diddy shirtless in a pool, posted with prayer hand emojis. Another had YK talking about eating good fruit and listening to Diddy. And the most suspicious, a photo of him shirtless, leaning over fruit like a model, with no friends or family around, just vibes. That's when the internet lit up. One user wrote, "I knew a man was sponsoring that trip the moment I saw no women in the background." Rumors began flying. Was this just a vacation or something more? But that wasn't the whole story, because what YK's baby mama posted next added fuel to the fire and made everything even harder to ignore. Just when things couldn't get more suspicious, YK Osiris's baby mama broke her silence, and it changed everything. She took to social media and posted a bold message. "Stop asking me what happened with my BD. I caught him with a man." That one sentence sent shockwaves through the internet. People weren't just guessing anymore. Now, someone close to YK was claiming the rumors were true. The internet moved fast. Fans started digging deeper, analyzing YK's body language and behavior in interviews. The most telling moment, his appearance on The Breakfast Club. Charlemagne brought up the viral rumors that YK was Diddy's boy toy.
Yeah, nobody would ever say that one.
Oh, yeah.
So here goes envy.
They said he was Diddy's boy toy.
Yeah, I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See?
YK Osiris in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy.
See?
Instead of shutting it down confidently, YK fidgeted, avoided eye contact, and laughed nervously. He played with his hoodie, smiled wide, and seemed uncomfortable the whole time.
Jamaica with Diddy though?
He said yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was with a shawty.
All right, but Diddy was there.
No, he was a whole other different.
Oh, so they just made this up?
Yeah, they made it up, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he was in a whole other different area. Like, he was like...
Have you ever met Diddy?
Yeah.
Okay, did he ask you to party?
Yeah.
Party?
Man.
Don't maybe put his fantasies on you.
Bad tonight.
Every time I went I did that man's the vibe. That must be Diddy bopping.
Even when DJ Envy pushed for clarity, YK stumbled over his words. He denied the rumors, but something about his reaction didn't sit right with viewers. One fan commented, "His mouth said no, but his face said everything." People were no longer asking if something happened. They were asking what happened and why YK was too scared to speak on it. And what happened next would only raise more eyebrows, because another big name entered the picture, and his behavior toward YK was even harder to explain. That's when Drake entered the conversation, and his treatment of YK Osiris raised even more red flags. A video went viral showing Drake pressuring YK to perform a song after losing a $60,000 bet. But this wasn't friendly teasing. Drake spoke to him like a boss scolding an employee. His tone was firm, almost cold. "You owe me 60 bands, Drake said, making it clear he expected a full performance. Right then and there, inside a private home, YK looked nervous. He stuttered, laughed awkwardly, and tried to play it cool. But viewers weren't laughing. One person commented, "That didn't feel like brotherhood, it felt like control."
I ain't gonna hold you no more.
You owe me 60 bands, and you have to perform the song right now in the crib. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I'm giving you an out. I'm not baby, I'm not Boosie. You don't owe me no 2 rags, 5 rags. You owe me 60 bands. I'm playing the song right now. You ready? I need a full. You won't owe me no money right now. I swear, I need a full performance though. The real shit though.
And that wasn't the only moment that had people talking. Another clip showed YK doing sit-ups on Drake's private jet, looking physically exhausted and uncomfortable. Again, fans noticed the power dynamic. He didn't look like someone enjoying a trip with friends. He looked like someone trying to keep up, desperate to stay in good graces.
You struggling? You struggling? With them push-ups?
The internet had a name for it: humiliation ritual. Some said it looked like YK was being forced into embarrassing situations as part of something bigger. Others believed these weren't isolated moments. They were signs of a deeper pattern. But this wasn't just about Drake or Diddy anymore, because what YK did next, on camera, live, and emotional, would break hearts and spark even darker questions. Then came the moment that made everyone stop and listen. YK Osiris went live on camera and broke down crying. This wasn't about seeking attention. It wasn't for clicks or likes. What viewers saw was real emotion. With a trembling voice, he shared how drained and isolated he felt. He admitted that the music industry had taken a heavy toll on him, and that he no longer felt supported by the people around him. That live moment hit fans hard. It cut through all the glitz and social media posts. They saw a young artist overwhelmed by struggles we usually don't see. He said music wasn't helping him financially anymore, and even worse, it wasn't giving him peace. The fame, the parties, the connections, none of it filled the emptiness he was battling inside. What really stood out was when he told fans to stop linking his name with Drake or Lil Baby. "They don't mess with me no more," he said. It felt like he was being slowly pushed out of the very circle that once lifted him up. Fans were left stunned. This wasn't just an emotional moment, it felt like a serious message about what goes on behind the scenes. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any heavier, YK returned with even more to say, this time exposing secrets about the music world that many never expected to hear. In another emotional live stream, YK Osiris opened up even more, and this time, he started exposing the industry itself. He said the truth nobody wants to hear. Most rappers lie. They talk about being blessed, but according to YK, they're not praising God. They're worshiping something else. He warned fans that behind the fame and fortune, there's darkness. They deal with emo spirits, he said. They think about killing themselves. He admitted that the music business wasn't for him. He only stayed in it to feed his family. "This is not what God wants me to do," he cried, "but I do it because I have to survive." His voice was filled with pain, frustration, and regret. Fans started connecting the dots. The smiling photos, the strange videos, the breakdowns. It all pointed to one thing. YK was caught in something deeper than music deals and studio sessions. And what came next added a chilling twist, because people started saying this wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual. That's when the story took a darker turn. Online investigators and even spiritual advisors began speaking up, claiming what YK was going through wasn't just emotional, but spiritual warfare. A well-known psychic, Sloan Bella, stepped in and dropped a bombshell. She said this had nothing to do with Diddy's sexuality, it was about rituals, dark, twisted ones. According to her, powerful people in the industry use ritual acts to steal energy from younger artists, keeping themselves rich, youthful, and on top. She claimed Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex, was writing a book about it before she passed. Bella said Kim had learned the truth about what was really going on behind the scenes. "It's not about being gay," Sloan explained. "It's about harnessing energy through ritualistic acts most people couldn't even imagine." And fans began to wonder, was YK Osiris one of those victims? The idea was terrifying, but it made everything he said and did suddenly make sense. Fans started looking back at YK Osiris's career, and the shift was clear. Before all of this, he was rising fast. He had major cosigns, hit songs, and big features. He was seen laughing with celebrities, posting luxury pics, and living the high life. But after the Jamaica trip and his public breakdowns, everything changed. The spotlight faded, the music stopped, the endorsements disappeared. Supporters online began saying YK wasn't just losing fame, he was silenced. One user posted, "It's like they chewed him up and spat him out." Another wrote, "Diddy doesn't have talent. He steals energy from his artists and leaves them with nothing." The theory was catching fire. YK had been used and discarded. He was once a rising star. Now, he looked like someone who'd seen too much and paid the price for it. But the strangest part, the person who may have introduced YK to this world of power and secrets was about to come back into focus. That person was Ray J. According to several sources, he was the one who first connected YK Osiris to Diddy. Some believe Ray J acted as the middleman, ushering YK into a world he wasn't prepared for. And what made it even stranger was what happened months after the Jamaica trip. Ray J suddenly popped up in the Dominican Republic to surprise YK on his birthday. On camera, Ray J said they were there to brainstorm with creative minds and talk bags, but something felt off. YK didn't look excited excited or happy. In fact, fans noticed his energy seemed drained. One viewer commented, Ray J barely treated him like a friend. It was like YK didn't even matter. Even more suspicious, the man standing behind Ray J got more camera time than YK himself. It felt like YK was just background, someone forgotten in a world that once celebrated him. And that's when people realized this wasn't just a fall from fame. It looked more like a setup from the start. As more clips and stories surfaced, the pattern became impossible to ignore. From the Jamaica getaway to the public humiliation videos, it seemed like YK Osiris had been set up to fail, or worse, controlled. People started saying he was being used as a pawn, passed around in elite circles, then tossed aside when he no longer served a purpose. Even his tattoo of Drake's Ovo owl started to feel symbolic. Was it loyalty or ownership? Fans pointed out how every move YK made felt less like choice and more like survival. The jokes, the silence, the sudden change in his energy, it all pointed to someone battling something much bigger than himself. Now, insiders say YK has had enough. He's ready to speak. Word is, he's been sitting on receipts, text messages, voice notes, even contracts that could expose what really happened behind the scenes. But the biggest question now isn't what he'll say, it's whether he'll be safe enough to say it. Now, with Diddy's empire under heavy fire and more people speaking out, YK Osiris might finally be ready to break his silence. Sources close to the situation claim he's been holding onto solid proof, voice recordings, contracts, and screenshots that could expose the truth about what really went down in Jamaica and beyond. If even half of it is real, it could shake the industry to its core. But fans are worried. One person wrote, "He seems too vulnerable. That's why they take advantage of him." Others noticed that even in public moments, like the birthday surprise in the Dominican Republic, YK looked disconnected, like his spirit had already left the room. He barely smiled, barely spoke. It was like he was there, but not really present. Some believe YK was groomed, used, and then tossed aside, not just by Diddy or Drake, but by a system built to chew up young talent and keep the truth buried. Now, with the spotlight shifting and cracks forming in the walls of the industry, YK could become the voice that finally says what so many have been afraid to admit. But will he speak before it's too late? Or will more pressure, more threats, and more silence keep the truth locked away? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe YK Osiris is ready to expose it all? Drop your take in the comments below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe.